Hello there, welcome to Inkquiring Minds. My name is Doug and I'm back with another fountain pen video. The topic of this video was suggested by an Inkquiring Minds viewer, Hugh. Thanks, Hugh. I was considering talking about the upcoming tariffs planned by the US government, but I really wanted to avoid any political discussions on my channel. But this is actually economic rather than political. Which fountain pens should U.S. customers consider purchasing before the U.S. tariffs against Chinese, Canadian, and Mexican products come into effect on February 1st, 2025? Since I was asked, I'll give my opinion, but I'll not tolerate any vitriolic discourse in my comment section. In plain English, that means cut the bullshit or you'll be tossed out.
Get out!
So keep watching to watch my recommendations on which fountain pens you should consider purchasing if you're in the United States before February 1st, right now. And here's a brief overview of the economics of this, as far as I know. The tariffs being applied in the United States are against 3 countries, specifically Canada, Mexico, and China. This means if you live in the United States starting on February 1st, 2025, anyone who imports goods from those countries will have to pay a tariff charge to the U.S. government on top of the cost of importing the goods. And that will no doubt be passed on to the consumer by wholesalers and retailers. So simply put, you'll be paying more for anything coming into the U.S. from Canada, Mexico, or China. And no, I will not buy Chinese stuff for you and mail it to you in the United States.
Get out!
I don't know of any fountain pens or inks coming from Mexico, but I know those of you who like Ferris wheel press inks had better jump on your orders before February 1st because that stuff comes from Canada. And if you're fans of Monteverdi or Conklin, you should consider making your purchases now rather than later, as most of those brands' pens are made in China. I don't know of a model of those brands I'd recommend anyway. But here are some Chinese pens in alphabetical order I think Americans should consider purchasing before the prices go up. And if any of you are philosophically, morally, or ethically against anything from China, please stop watching now and refrain from telling me in the comments. You're perfectly within your rights to express your opinion on this topic, just not here. You'll just get tossed.
Get out!
So let's start with Admok. Start with the A's. The Admok M800 is a fantastic fountain pen for the price, and it was at the top of my list for 2023. It's a piston filler and very, very similar to the Pelikan M800. Then we come to Asvine. There are several Asvine fountain pens you should consider owning, as they are excellent. I've just reviewed this one, and this one will be on my list of the best pens of 2025 coming next December. This is the J16 Titanium, and this one has a broad Bock nib that's just sublime. It's a piston filler with an ink window. And then there is the Asvine P20. This is my P20 in Galaxy Blue. It is a piston filler. It's very similar in size and shape to a Leonardo Memento Zero, and it has an ink window. This one, I put a Kaigaloo long blade, long knife nib on it, like an architect. And it comes in a lot of really nice acrylic finishes. And then the Asvine Vac-filler. This is the Asvine V129. It's an excellent vacuum filler, and although it doesn't come in a huge variety of finishes, it rivals my favorite vacuum filler, the PenBBS 456. And there are a huge variety of Jinhao pen models out there, but one worth considering if you're a capless retractable fountain pen fan is the new Jinhao 10. It's very inexpensive, very well made, and is out now in several new finishes and colors. And now for Majohn Moonman. There are quite a few Majohn Moonman fountain pens I dislike, but they continue to make some excellent pens. My favorite Moonman Majohn fountain pen is the M800. It's almost a direct copy of the exquisite Leonardo Memento Zero. So if you don't have the budget for a Leonardo, this is one of the very best Chinese fountain pens made. I put a Leonardo stub on mine, and it's in this beautiful Galaxy Blue. It only comes in 4 colors, but they're all beautiful. Purple, green, this blue, and an amber as a cat. Again, if you're a fan of retractables, consider purchasing the Majohn A3. It's Majohn's copy of the Pilot LS, but it is $450 US cheaper and has a steel nib, not gold. But it does work beautifully. I happen to have an 18 karat gold stub Pilot in mine. And we come to PenBBS. PenBBS is my favorite Chinese pen maker. They haven't done much since the pandemic, concentrating mostly on making intricately engraved 14 karat gold calligraphy nibs, but you can still get their wonderful models on AliExpress and Etsy. The official Etsy shop is closed for the Chinese New Year, but you can get quite a few models from Sally's Easy Buy shop on Etsy. My recommendations are the PenBBS 456 vacuum filler. This one in amber is a cat and is one of the only vacuum fillers that I find posts beautifully and is nicely balanced in the hand. And of course the pen that started it all with PenBBS, the 308, this one in cedar. It looks like ivory. It's a beautiful pen, and it's a cartridge converter, or it can be eyedroppered as well. And PenBBS's piston filler, the 495. This is a relatively new model, as they redesigned their piston filler from the 309, which I don't recommend at all. But this redesigned piston on the 495 really works nicely, and it's an interesting shape. This one in amber is a cat. And finally, alphabetically last, but actually the best Chinese fountain pen I own, my Wingsung 630 14 karat gold nib fountain pen piston filler. This is a number 8 size 14 karat gold fine nib, and it is just amazing. This pen is indistinguishable in the hand from the Montblanc 149. Of course, the gold nibs on the Montblancs are body, head, and shoulders over a Chinese gold nib. But this number 8 size 14 karat gold fine nib is truly remarkable. And this Wingsung 630 was $1,200 Canadian less than a Montblanc 149 that I could purchase at my local store. I seriously do not need to own a Montblanc 149 because I own this pen. I've written with many wonderful Montblanc 149 fountain pens thanks to friends, and most of them are wonderful pens, but I don't need to own this shape, size, and look of pen. At least not for $1,000. If I came across a nice vintage Montblanc 149 for $300 to $400, I'd consider it. Until then, this Wingsung 630 fills that niche very nicely for me. And if you like Parker 51 style hooded nib fountain pens, you should consider the Wingsung 601. This is my Flighter version, which has a stainless steel hood that was applied after purchase. The Flighter version comes with a black plastic hood. But the 601 is also available in a huge variety of colors and styles of cap. I have another one here that has dual bottom and top finials in bright blue, a very interesting gold-plated cap with vertical stripes. You can get them with wavy and squirrely and all kinds of different shapes and patterns. It's in a really nice teal blue, has an ink window, the teal blue hood as well. And I put a Bobby bent nib in that pen rather than the one that came with it. And these pens are cheap like borscht. Everyone should have one of these beautiful pens. Now, I haven't included any Hongdian pens, most of which are very well built. There hasn't been a Hongdian that I've really taken to yet. But Hongdian has a huge fan base and worth consideration. And there you have it. And no, I'm not a Chinese shill. I don't even use TikTok. So thanks for watching. And that's all she wrote.
I made this.